Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Welcome to the Rock and Review. I'm thrilled to have some gentlemen that are putting on a great charity event that I believe in. I think you probably should attend tomorrow in White House. It is White House on Fire, Rocktoberfest celebration. Thanks to Brian Gamboa, and I've got Troy Lucetta, and I've also got Brian Bailey, and it's so great to have you guys on the show.
Oh, thanks for having us, man.
You know, it's what an incredible event. You know, my buddy Char reached out to me and said, hey, I got some friends putting on this amazing event, and it's the second annual one this year in White House, Tennessee. But it's, I think it's so cool that you guys, you know, obviously helping out with military, but first responders and firemen. I want to talk a little bit about how this thing came to be, where you came up with the idea for this, Brian.
Well, we're excited that we actually have a second year.
Totally.
It wasn't just a first year. So
Yeah.
we're in our second year, and we plan to keep many years going. But it started because several of us live in areas that aren't within city limits.
Sure.
And when you're in county, you're serviced typically by volunteer fire departments as opposed to city fire departments. They assist each other at times. But the reality is these guys have full-time jobs. Then they volunteer their time when they can to go respond to calls. And in the case by my home, these three small departments, if you can picture this, with only 45 volunteers, are trying to service 20,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Over 1,000 calls a year, and they're understaffed, they're under-equipped. We figured if we could put on some kind of concert, bring out some great musicians, we could contribute to that fund, and we could increase, get them some vehicles, get them some hoses, things they need to do their job. My home, if it catches on fire, those are the only guys coming for me. And this is a problem all over the country, but we wanted to start in our own backyard and work our way out.
And you brought that up before we came into the studio, too, and I mean, what a great cause to do that with. And Troy, obviously, with Troy Shows Up, and also with Tesla, who you've played with a number of years, who seem to be getting more popuar in the last year with your last album. Not a bad deal.
80s rock is back. You know?
It is. It's always been here with me.
It never left.
But you know, you've been involved in a number of huge charity events and things over the years.
I have.
And this one touched your heart to be a part of.
Yeah. Well, last year I played with the Classic Rock All-Stars, and I didn't know these two gentlemen at the time, and I was so impressed with the event that they had put together. I got to talking with them. I said, if there's anything I can do. I have been involved. I know what it takes to put on events. I put on many events myself.
Well, and also with, like we were talking about with the Great White events and stuff like that, which also dealt with fire, that you've been a part of over the years, and it's kind of what a great fit for you with this to help them out.
Yeah, so, however I can offer my services, I'm here.
And he has.
Yeah.
And he has.
How great. And Brian, I wanted to bring up to you, it's like, obviously, the tickets are still on sale. There's still some available. People can go online, whether it be on the website, Facebook, whatever. You want to set that up for viewers?
Correct, yeah. So tomorrow, gates open at 11 a.m., music starts at noon. We have tickets on sale at White House on Fire, $28 advance ticket, $38 at the gate tomorrow. We also have VIP seating available as well. It's not seating, it's more of an experience. You get to meet and greet, you get to hang out with a guy like this. And some of our guest stars as well. We've got special guests throughout the entire event. It's going to be kind of a set-in fest. With we've got 11 bands on stage. And a variety of guests are joining us throughout the day.
Well, and you keep adding. Like we were talking, it's like, you know, even on the poster that we have showing on air, you keep adding guests.
Absolutely.
And I mean, you've got people from Bad Company, from Winger, from Blake Shelton, obviously Tesla.
Absolutely.
You know, Todzilla.
Todzilla.
You know,
and
and
Todd, go wrong with Todzilla kicking
Todd's
off the
house,
show.
you know, burned, and he puts on an incredible show with his band as well, and that's just counting his hair.
Well,
it arrives 3 days before the show starts.
Right, it has like a separate green room just for Todd's hair.
Well, you mentioned it. That's a perfect example. Todd went through a fire and had to rebuild that. So, you know, these are things that really truly affect us. They're needed, and besides just doing on the local level, on kind of a larger scale, we're using this as a tribute to salute all those in uniform that serve us. And we mean all those in uniform, truly. From military to law enforcement to emergency responders. We want to give them a moment. And the other thing to that is we also want to reach out to our youth. We want to make it cool for our youth to go do something in their community, to volunteer, to show up, to be engaged that's in a positive way in their environment. And what's cooler than that than to put a bunch of rock stars, a bunch of talented people on a stage and tell them, let's go do this together.
Well, and I think also, like we were talking before we came in studio, you guys have rock, country, you got sort of all genres of music. playing in the different bands and jamming.
Exactly.
And so what an experience to where, you might get to see some of these musicians play together that have never really played together before.
Absolutely.
We might get to see Sean Fuller from Florida Georgia Line play some rock and roll. And we may get to see Troy, well,
I am playing some. No, I'm not going to give
Troy's
it.
going to play some country,
Yeah, yeah. I am going to be doing some country.
Absolutely.
There, see,
Yeah.
and you do show up.
I do show up. I do.
This man's been showing up for about 30 years now, and
Without
there's
fail.
plenty of great music out there to show it, and we're just so blessed to have somebody like this come on board. He's kind of our third musketeer in this whole thing.
Right.
absolutely.
Well, you said it's two drummers and a guitar.
Yeah.
And a musician.
No,
yeah.
musician. It just so happens,
Finally get to spin that one around.
after 30 plus years, you have lots of relationships, and what I found out over the years, putting events together myself, it's it's just a phone call. You call somebody. There's a lot of everybody wants to be a part of something and help. That's what I've learned.
Right.
And for them to show up is huge for us because it makes it easier for people to show up.
Well, and your story is so great with this too, Troy, to where, when they reached out to you, you were like going, okay, I'll make a donation. And then you had the calling to where I need to be a part of this.
Well, we're talking about the Great White Tragedy
Right.
that happened in Providence, Rhode Island. I got involved with them. I was going to make a donation, and I ended up putting two events together, and one of them ran on VH1 and raised $1 million, and I was a promoter at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and that was an act of God. It wasn't my initial plan. I was just going to make a donation, and I realized if I made some phone calls, maybe I could put an event together, and it worked.
You've got a few friends you've played with over the years in the business now. Who knew?
And they're beautiful people, and I've been blessed, absolutely.
Hey,
Well, it's
also
incredible to share that, too.
speaking of donations, after this event is over, that doesn't mean the donations have to stop. You can donate online at whitehouseonfire.com before, during, and after this show.
Yeah, there's a donate button right there on top.
Absolutely. So please don't think that this is the only opportunity. There, and even looking into next year, vendors can come out, sponsors can come on board, and obviously ticket sales are what fund everything that goes into this.
Right.
That we are going to write a check to help save some lives, hopefully.
Well, and I think also, Brian, as we were talking about earlier, these volunteer firehouses are constantly in need of boots and gear and hoses and everything else. And that is how they're able to come out to the rural houses in these different areas and actually put out fires and save lives and save pets and everything else.
It costs about $10,000 per man.
Per man.
To come out and suit up.
And also,
all
the
of his
volunteers, are giving of their time and
Absolutely.
everything to do this, and the training it takes.
And rushing into danger.
Right.
These guys are putting their lives on the line so we can all do the things we do in peace and comfort and ease. And man, thank you to all of those guys. And by putting on just a little concert, it's a minimal example of thank you, but thank you nonetheless.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think it's huge, and especially being able to thank all first responders. But with these firehouses, it's like when you donate, when you pitch in, when you come to the show, you could be helping yourself or someone you know.
Exactly.
And what a great cause.
And just to let you know, there's, and you can still go online, you can look online. Tomorrow we're going to offer, even at the gate, and we've done it online, we're still offering any kind of a military or uniform discount. If you served in any way on any of these things, we have a discount set up there. We'll be doing that at the gate tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then also we're going to have a nice kind of ceremony to our armed forces.
Yeah, a little gratitude ceremony. If you were planning to come to the late version of the show, arrive a little early.
Absolutely.
If you were planning on coming early, plan to stay a little later and don't miss the real reason of this whole
Right.
this whole
And that's
event.
the thing.
And bring the family. We've
Right.
got an entire inflatable kid zone this
Yeah,
year, which
yeah.
we didn't have last year.
Yeah.
A lot of vendors. We have 5, 6 food trucks, whatever we have now.
Plenty
with
of-
that
plenty of
amazing
concessions.
food. So it's going to be awesome.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the great thing. You get to make a donation and help out in the community. Also, you get to see 11 great bands, country music, rock music,
and roll.
every kind of music.
And mixed bands.
Yeah, exactly. Throw together jam sessions, but you're supporting the first responders and the firemen. White House on Fire. Be sure and attend it tomorrow. Go online, check out the website, the Facebook, social media, everything else. You don't want to miss this event. And if you can't make it, still donate and help out the great cause. Rocktoberfest celebration, also Troy's birthday. You don't want to
right.
miss that.
That's right.
Tomorrow in White House, Tennessee. Thanks for watching The Rock and Review.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones Show.